How much can I read during a 48-hour trip to LA? And the answer is shocking. I got to the airport right as boarding started for my flight, so I just read the opening of Love Be Damned while I waited to board. Then once I was in my seat, I got right into it. I love reading on planes so much. I just lock in because, I don't know, my phone can't distract me and it makes the time go quickly, but why is using the seat like kind of embarrassing? Anyway, I finished Love Be Damned, I took some time to write up my review, and then onto the Macabre, which I read about 70% of on this flight. And then I was supposed to just drop off my bags at my hotel and head right to NYX Cosmetics headquarters for a meeting and a tour, but it was canceled 30 minutes before. I was so bummed, but then I figured I might as well finish the Macabre because I was really into it. So I did, and then I finished writing up and posting my reviews, and then I gave myself a brain break from reading for the rest of the night, and I did some other work. Also, I wiped out pretty early because traveling makes me very sleepy. The next day, I had an all-day beauty event with TikTok, which was what I came here for. I did read like 10 pages of Fate's Bane in the morning, but then I had to go. I did take a driverless car. I mean, I had to try it out. It was very cool. I also poked into the Village Well bookstore, which I definitely want to go back to. And then I had an amazing time at the event, and I took home so many goodies. Luckily, I prepared and brought a checked bag. I caught up on some work with a little Trader Joe's dinner, and then I fell asleep. The next morning, I had to leave at 6 a.m. for the airport, and then I read a bit more of Fate's Bane while I waited to board, and then my flight was delayed. Boo. So I sat and I finished that book, and I wrote up my review, and then my flight was canceled, and I got rebooked, but then that flight was canceled, so I had to shift to flight number 3. I started the midnight shift, and they gave me a $15 meal voucher, which it turns out you can buy anything with. So I bought a liquid IV and this little shark, which was the wildest combo between a bouncy ball and a stuffed animal. I don't know, it charmed me. Then we boarded, but then we were held while taxiing for another hour because Newark Airport was closed, but we finally took off, and I finished the midnight shift pretty early into my flight. And then I started a game in yellow, which was actually the last book I had packed, and I did finish it and then had nothing more to read. RIP. I've never finished every book I brought with me on vacation ever in my life, but unfortunately I will now have to use this trip as evidence to overpack much more in the future. This was a wild little vlog in the end, huh? 5 books, holy smokes, and I'm somehow still behind on my reading goal.